What's up, YouTube? Hobo Nichol BBQ back with you again. We have Kent Vandeweerd in the hot seat. What's up, Kent?
How we doing, gang? I don't know. It's been an interesting day or a week in Iowa with damn near 15 inches of snow. But hey, we're digging out. We'll be all right.
All right, so I am getting an ad in front of this, and that means everybody else is getting an ad in front of this, which means if I hit the skip, everybody else has hit the skip. So for those coming in a second late, I will read through who is here right now. We got Meathead, Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin, Azrael's Pooh, Barlow, Dan Smoky Goodness, Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue, and if I missed you, you haven't typed recently. And Heavy Metal Barbecue. Rock on. All right, Kent, so where are you from?
I am actually from Iowa, in Lamar's, Iowa. Supposedly the ice cream capital of the world, if you ever heard of Blue Bunny ice cream. That's here in town. It's our biggest employer here in town. So
awesome. Real quick, Baloney Ring Ranch just showed up. Never heard of that channel before. Just kidding. All right, my favorite question. Family, wife, kids, dog.
Children. Yeah, a lot. Wife, 4 kids between 28 and 11 years old, including a son-in-law, 2 grandkids. My little barbecue buddy. Hey, Jack, come here. He's sleeping in his basket. I'll get him later. And then my youngest daughter has 2 cats also. So, yeah, we have a very full house.
All right. Mike, Everyday Barbecue just showed up. Welcome, Mike.
Go Pack, go, Mike. Sorry, buddy.
All right, so let's give some background here. This isn't the typical hot seat video yet. Somebody type into Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue that like he needs to hit the refresh button. If somebody could. All right, so Kent's channel is about what? 8 days old? 10 days old? Of actual video content?
Something like that. Something like that. You know, I'm doing it to have fun. I'm just trying to give my spin on how I barbecue, what I do. I have 5 different offsets, all of different sizes. I have a real little charbroil that I had up at the lake just for fun. I have a char griller, typical Walmart brand. I have a Brinkman that used to be a pellet smoker, but the brains in the pellet, the feeder, everything took a crap. So I went to Lowe's, bought a offset box, converted that. My big one I built myself. I'm just trying to have fun, give my take on how I barbecue. That's it. So.
Meathead said Chris put a link to his channel. I started to type. It's in the description. So go down there to the description. Hop down to real quick. Right click on it. Open it up into a new tab. Hop off here and go check it out. Whatever you want to do. You guys know how this works. For those of you watching that I can't see it because you're not commented, hit subscribe on my channel and his channel. Just kidding. Just do his. I don't care about me. All right, so how'd you decide? I know you've watched the hot seats and we talked before the show about the people you watch, but what made you decide to hang on, I gotta comment on this. Cooking Green Bastard Style says get rid of your terrorist black background, dude. I can't do it, dude. It is what it is.
I think the black wall behind you would look good.
I mean, we can keep it with that, but that, you know, that's like being in a dungeon.
A wet one.
Yeah. Anybody that doesn't know, Mrs. Hobo's kids decided to take their red Solo cups and dump half the bathtub out into the floor, which once I got that cleaned up today, which was about an hour and a half before showtime, I walked down in the basement to find out it was raining in the basement. So it's been a fun pre-show. So anyways, what made you decide, hey, I'm going to do this?
You know, there's most of the people that are on right now, and I can't see it right now because my cell phone's being retarded. I've watched a lot of the videos and stuff, and I thought, you know, I'm not the most engaging guy there is out there, but I just wanted to give my take on how I barbecue in the backyard. That's it.
Right.
So it's, you know, I'm doing it for fun. I'm doing it to have a good time.
All right. Scott in for the girls says, tell them there's 150 people watching.
Perfect. Maybe I'll get 2 more subscribers out of the deal. Get over that 10 mark, baby. Come on. Let's go.
All right.
Up to 9 before this. Come on. I'm on a roll. That's like 1 a day. I keep this crap up. I'm perfect.
Yeah, so here's the thing that I've figured out. And I'm going to use Meathead because he made the point to me when I hit 60. Once you hit 60, it feels like things get easier. The first 60 is a hard grinding time. Everyday Barbecue says you're at 14 right now.
I see Roundhouse subscribed, and I missed one earlier. I don't know who that was.
Meathead said he subbed you. I'm assuming Mike Everyday Barbecue did, or he's just being a dick and sitting on there watching. But I'm pretty sure he probably hit the button.
Well, you know, them Bears fans, you never know about them. So I got to give Mike a hard time. I'm a Packers fan. Thankfully, it's one team in the NFC North after Rodgers went out we could beat this year. So it's all good.
Quest Hunter at our Shack Barbecue says no one can find you because we can't spell your last name.
Yeah, well, I already gave Chris instructions earlier. Never use, during this interview, never use the word weird. It's unique or indifferent.
Green Bastard just asked, how weird are you, Vandeweerd?
Oh, you'd love to find out, you bastard. Let me tell you.
All right. So who taught you how to cook?
You know, growing up, I watched my mom. For years, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. And I watched my mom cook a lot. And then I kind of just did my own thing. I can remember Mother's Day, her birthday. I'd get up early and I'd sneak into the kitchen, not knowing how loud them pans actually were, and make my mom breakfast and give her breakfast in bed. That's kind of how I got started cooking. Typical teenager, I worked in a couple diners, a couple pizza places, you know, stuff like that. Moved away for a while. When I moved back to the area, it's called Doc's Cafe, which is a diner slash bar. Need a breakfast cook. And so I'd go in 4 or 5 hours in the morning. I'd do split shifts. I did it for 8 years. Cook breakfast, you know, typical eggs, a meat, hash browns, toast, blah, 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 stuff like that. And then bartend at night for about 5, 6 hours. After I got out of that, you know, like the typical guy, I was always grilling, trying other stuff on the grill. You know, different stuff.
Right.
What's that, bud?
I said right.
Oh. You know, just...
I was letting people see me for a half a second whilst you ramble on.
Well, you want this to go an hour or not? Damn it! Come on. You know, and I've always enjoyed cooking. I actually worked for a buddy of mine who ran a catering outfit for about 8 years. So gave that up about 5 years ago when he called it quits. And I tell you what, I enjoy my Saturday nights a lot more now than I do working every Saturday night. So,
I can understand that.
oh yeah.
So Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue wants to know what you're cooking this weekend.
Well, I got a couple things going. I have my youngest daughter, my 14-year-old, she loves ribs. But I also have about 8 pounds of pork belly that's been in the fridge for, well, since Saturday. And I'm going to smoke that this coming Saturday and make my own homemade bacon. I did some burn ends, barbecue or pork belly burn ends last weekend that I took to the guys at work. And the one guy I work with, his wife is actually the cook at the Plymouth County Jail. And yeah, she's upset. I only gave her a pound. She wanted two. So, but the problem is her husband ate the other pound. So I'm going to be doing homemade bacon this weekend. And next weekend for the Super Bowl, I'm going to be doing some ribs. I'm not going to be videoing all of it because raise your hand if you've never seen the 3-2-1 method. I'm going to do a 3-2 method, and actually after the 5-hour mark, I'm going to be putting it in the Don's chuck wagon batter,
Right.
and then shallow frying it. So going to try something a little different. I've used that Don's chuck wagon mix for years, but never deep fried ribs after they've been smoked. So I'm going to try that, something different. If it turns out good, you might see it. If it turns out like crap, you won't see it.
You got to put your failures up. People like crap like that more than anything else. Trust me.
Is that like a nut video or?
No, that one was successful. Even Everyday Barbecue sent me a message at one point and said, I don't know how you did that without laughing. And I did that entire video in one take.
I was impressed by that after I watched it too, by the way. And was that your neighbor who came over and helped you on that with the Coors Light?
I don't think he was part of that video. I can't remember.
I think he was, because he came over with the Coors Light, and those are good nuts. And
that probably was. All right, so we talked earlier. I don't know how to segue this, so we'll just not segue it. So you showed me that picture about that the kids gave you. I don't know if you can whip that out again or not.
Oh, yeah. I'll grab it here. Tell me if you can see it.
Yep.
Okay. This was from an event. I'll get rid of this now. From Rib Fest, which is held in Sioux City at the Hard Rock Casino. And hey, got the shirt on too. It is a fundraiser for Camp High Hopes, which is a camp for the mentally and physically challenged kids in the area. Runs it is actually used to be one of our morning TV anchors. I mean, she's a sweet gal, love her to death. It's a backyard KCBS cook. It's just ribs and chicken. The first year they did it, they had 20 teams. The second year, they had 25 or 26 teams. Good time. You go up, set up on Friday. Turn-ins are, well, what are they? 11:30 and 12 for the ribs and the chicken. You know, it's for a good reason. You know, these kids want to feel as normal as any of us do. So it's labor intensive, but it's for a good cause. That's why I do it.
You do other comps besides that one?
Last year I did probably 10 to 12 competitions. Plus, on Friday nights, I cook for a local dirt track, USRA dirt track. So, what you've seen about asphalt is for getting there, and dirt's for racing. That's my blood. Um, so yeah, I did 10 or 12 comps last year, backyard. We have one about an hour away, a full KCBS event this year. Um, what's it called? Farm BQ, because it's held in a barn up by Iowa. Oh yeah, it's hilarious. Up by the Iowa Great Lakes, where I go fishing a lot. So yeah, I enjoy it. It's a good time. The camaraderie of all the different cooks is what makes it fun for me.
So Mike Everyday Barbecue wants to know how people, well, he says, how can I help with that camp? Is there like a website, or, and this is something we can
Yes,
put down in the, after the show, put down in the comments or in the description, but
it's called, oh, here. I don't know if you can read this where it says Camp High Hopes. Can you read that?
you got to talk when, after I talk, or it doesn't switch the camera.
Oh, yeah. Damn it. You told me about that. It's called Camp High Hopes. It's located in Sioux City. You can find them real easy. I think it's camphighhopes.com. And the one of the gals there that's in charge is Sarah Morgan. Great gal. It's for a good reason. They're always looking for donations, sponsors, stuff like that. So it's a fun time. Mike, I'm sure if you came out, they'd hold a spot for you. You just got to let me know and I'll call her.
All right, so we got two new women to the chat. We've got Miss Booger 500 US, and we've got Kathy. How do you pronounce this last name? Vandeweerd.
Yeah, that short little lady you saw earlier. Hi, honey.
So if any of you ladies have any questions you'd like me to ask Kent, feel free to type it down in the chat, and I'll work my way through.
Chris, this might be a 20-minute interview. You start doing that.
Hey, it's okay. It'd be a solid 20 minutes versus a long, not solid hour.
I knew she'd find it. Ugh.
So Kathy, if you got any dirt, just type it in there. He's not watching the chat, so he'll never know.
I am now, damn it.
Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin wants to know your favorite bands.
Wow. Well, it depends what part of the life I've been in. For a while, I actually lived in Des Moines, and I was a bouncer at a country bar. So I got my ties into country. I'm going to go on the rock side, though, more like Def Leppard. Seen them live in Des Moines. AC/DC was actually the first concert I ever went to. God, you would put me on the spot, wouldn't you?
Well, Fred asked the question. It's actually Fred who put you on the spot. I'm just the media.
Well, yeah. I'm talking about Fred, not you. Scorpion. I really liked Scorpion back in the day. That's about all I can think of right now. But I'm sure by the end, I'll probably come up with a couple others.
So Lewis just typed, just subbed Kathy. So I'll be curious who ends up with more subs by the time this is over, Kathy or Kent?
Her, trust me. Trust me.
All right, making sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. All right, so what's a weekday meal look like at your guys' house?
During the week, Mama does most cooking. I do most cooking on the weekend, stuff like that. My wife is an excellent cook. That's probably why I'm 290 pounds. But my wife makes some great meals. She makes these roll-ups, kind of like a taquito thing. Oh my God, they're to die for. Let me tell you. But she has so many damn cookbooks over the years, from over the years in the kitchen, and she has her favorite recipes, and there ain't a damn bad one in the group. I'll tell you that.
Right.
So she does most of the weekday cooking, and she does well at it.
All right, so Tango Joe hopped in, Raleigh Smokes hopped in. Both of them hopped in a little bit ago. Robert Roy hopped in and wants to know cast iron or wok?
I'm a cast iron guy. I have 10 or 12 pieces of cast that I use on my predominantly on either my little Coleman tabletop gas stove, propane stove, or on my Camp Chef Pioneer 2-burner.
I think Everyday Barbecue is moving in with you for the taquitos.
Well, we got an open bedroom in the basement, but we don't allow that blue color in the house. The wife's a Giants fan, so.
Speaking of the wife.
Yeah, goddamn.
Oh, yeah, she's sticking. I have a feeling she'll be the last one to leave the chat.
That's because I told her I didn't want her out here while I was doing this.
Especially the fact that if I clicked on her, I'm curious. I don't know how. Does she actually have content or is she just got a channel?
She just got a channel on that she watches YouTube on, I'm guessing. She's never told me she's ever made a video or anything because I just told her a week ago I did. She didn't even know I was doing this, so.
Well, your wife wants to know if these ribs you're going to make are going to be family friendly, and I'm assuming there's a story behind that.
Well, I'm a pepperhead. I like it warmer than most people do. My youngest daughter has trouble sometimes chewing meat. So when I make family style ribs, I try to get them, fall off the bone, so it's real easy to eat, especially considering my 14-year-old is my biggest critic when it comes to ribs. If I get a thumbs up from her, I know I'm doing something right. It's family style or competition style is what that amounts to.
Right. I hear the doggy barking, or a doggy barking.
Yeah, he's outside. He's outside. He'll be back in a minute. You never have to worry about sweeping the floor when that little guy's around. So.
All right. So I'm going to ask this question not to pick on you, but to help people that are on the fence about starting videos, etc. So you had some struggles in that first video you made. You want to kind of go through that?
Actually, the first video I made, nobody ever saw because I was just walking around and I was just going to do, hey guys, just show the pits that I cook on because I have 5 different offsets. And so I went around, I was talking, I was walking around with my iPad, I was doing the whole thing. And then I came back inside and I went to listen to it, and there wasn't an ounce of sound on it. So yeah, that's the biggest fail so far. Yeah, but the problem I had with the first one anybody saw was when I was doing the country style pork ribs. And I'm sitting here trying to edit them all together.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And that's when you told me to put it in the Facebook, the YouTube Cooks.
Right.
In the meantime, Barlow got a hold of me. And Barlow's like, here's what you do. He walked me through the whole thing. And it would have never been out there if it wasn't for Barlow. So thank you, Matthew.
Yeah, Barlow is very good people.
Yeah, he is. Definitely.
So Ken Heavy Metal Barbecue wants to know, what's Kent's go-to offset?
That's tough. Now you're making me choose between 2. My newest one, which is my Oklahoma Joe Highland, or the big one I built. The big one I built, that's my 600-pound baby. I mean, she weighs 600 pounds. She's hot and heavy, and she cooks like a champ. But for smaller cooks, it's my Oklahoma Joe. For the bigger cooks, it's definitely my big girl. So
Tango Joe says, and Barlow has the coolest hat.
yeah, matches his beard. Come on. Who's got a stocking hat that just flawlessly blends in with the salt and pepper of his beard?
So just to save Meathead from typing this, I'm supposed to tell you, because he's put it in there like 3 times. He can help you mod your offsets if you want.
He already did with my Oklahoma Joe. He put in that 50 cent or whatever. Not your, yours was a nickel fix. I forgot. With the using your charcoal grates, wrapping them in foil,
right?
Setting one at a 45 and one down as tuning plates. And ever since I've been trying that with him, I got a hard time getting that thing over 250 if I want to. So, yeah, he's already helped me with that. So
there you go, Meathead. It's actually worked for somebody besides you. Johnny Texas Style Cuisine says, okay, y'all can start now. I'm here. All right, Johnny, just for you. What's up, YouTube? Hobo Nichol BBQ back with you again. We'll start from scratch.
Hi.
All right, Raleigh Smoke says, who wants to see Heavy Metal Barbecue make a pit out of a filing cabinet? I do. I can agree with that, Raleigh Smoke. Heavy Metal Barbecue has been real creative lately. I don't know if you saw, he made a... All right, I'm going to say it because I don't care if any of you guys get pissed off. He essentially made a slow and sear out of a fucking modified vortex.
I did see that with the that brisket cook.
Yeah, you got something like 18 hours of cook time out of it.
Yeah, he had a little. I mean, God, he couldn't have had 2 chimneys of charcoal in the thing the whole time,
right?
Because he added towards the end after it was wrapped, but that could have been a half chimney of charcoal just to finish it off. That was pretty impressive.
Meathead says he dubbed it Boland's. Well, Raleigh Smoke says Meathead dubbed it the Bolin Sear.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't use that S&S phrase anymore.
Anybody who's mad is mad. It's never going to go away, is what it is. Get over it.
Yeah.
I don't care. As much as anybody wants to feel I did it with ill intent, that was never the intent. All right, let's move on. The question you've been waiting for.
Can I get the sign out?
No, not that question. I don't have to go pee, but you can show the sign if you want. He was ready in case I had to go pee.
You got it?
Yep.
On there? Okay. I told you I might have to use that sign too. You might have to freestyle for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll make the wife come out here. No, we won't make the wife come out here.
I think that's a great idea, Kent. And you take your time.
Yeah. Yeah. Gee, thanks, pal. Appreciate that. You're evil.
3 channels you watch, 1 big, 1 small, and 1 you think should be much bigger than they currently are.
You know, I told you originally I didn't want to answer this question because I didn't do, for me, at what am I up to, 11 subscribers now? I mean, everybody's big. One of the biggest that I subscribe to that I enjoy watching is probably Robert Arrington, Deer Meat for Dinner. I don't know what it is about that dude, but, he does several different things. I think it's real cool. Hey, heavy metal. Thanks. That's not going to get you in the answer, though. One small... I got to say, Cooking with CJ. That guy is a freaking crack up. His intros, I loved his hangover breakfast video. I thought that was cool. The one I really struggled with is the one channel that should be bigger. I mean, there's so many guys out there. You could take all their names, throw them in a hat, and pick one out. But for me, I really think it should be Barlow. I love watching Barlow's videos. It's nothing real fancy, in my opinion. It's just Matthew and Martha, and here's what we're doing, and outdoor cooking, and I just think it's cool. That's why I think it should be bigger.
All right, so I jumped over to your page and split window sex. You're up to 22 subscribers.
Wow. Well, 21. Well, no, never mind. It's probably 22. The wife didn't subscribe, so she don't count.
So there's a comment from Kathy Vandeweerd that says, "Hey, Dad, can I have family style ribs, please?"
Oh, that would be our daughter getting on, and I told her I'm gonna do that for next Sunday, for the Super Bowl Sunday. They'll be done about the time she gets home. So, yes, honey. Well, the funny thing is, my nickname for my daughter is Fred. Don't ask. Long story. But yes, Fred, you can have ribs next Sunday.
All right, so Barlow is challenging everybody to get Kent to 50.
Oh, there's going to be some disappointed people.
So let's see here. There's 23 people watching now. You started out at what? 8?
9 before this.
9?
8 or 9.
I'm not good at math, but 23 minus 9 is 14 plus. So.
Yeah, no, it would be 14.
And we're at 22 now, so all we need is
another 27. That's no big deal.
I think that's feasible. All right, so I'll do this just for funsies. Tomorrow or Saturday, I'm putting up my 500 subscriber giveaway. And if you get Kent to 50, by the time that video goes out, which will be, you know what, we'll do it Saturday night at 10 o'clock. I will double the prizes. So there. Let's see if that works. I think it's going to work anyways, but we can just add that on there. Fucking Johnny's giving me shit for the way I typed a question. All right. I don't know how far up I got to scroll. Does Kent cook at comps like he is cooking at home, or does he go with a different flavor profile? Once Chris Azrael wants to know. Azrael's Pit Barbecue.
Flavor profiles pretty consistent. There's not a big variance there. It's the doneness that changes from family style to. Why are you laughing? Family style
that are being done to me.
Family style to comp style. You can't say that to them people.
I can too, especially since it's not verbalized. Most of them will take that with a badge.
Okay, I won't. Never mind. I won't repeat that.
So I typed in ask as axe. Now I've everybody asking axe questions, and I typed in you guys are dicks. I'll do it. I'll out myself. Don't care.
Green bastard. Roll-ups. No, not fruit. Pay attention.
All right. Robert Roy wants to know Gordon Ramsay or Rachel Ray?
Gordon.
Why?
He's a dick.
Fair enough. Final answer. I'm good with that.
And how many Michelin stars does that guy have? At different restaurants. We're actually going on vacation about a month from now. We're taking a belated honeymoon of 12 and a half years. And I think we're actually going to go to Caesar's and eat at his Hell's Kitchen restaurant.
That'll be good.
So, well, yeah. It's going to cost about a Benjamin a piece, but yeah, it better be good for that.
The only way it would be any better is if he came out and yelled at you.
But yeah, I could handle that too. Shut up, you little bloke.
All right, Lewis wants to know, ask Kent if he lives in the cornfields of Iowa.
I don't actually live in a cornfield. I grew up next to a cornfield. And where we live in town, we're on the very east edge of town. And depending on the year, my neighbor across the street to the north is either a bean field or a cornfield. So yeah, I could take you out back right now and show you corn stalks blowing. Well, they're covered in the snow now, but corn stalks all over the back patio.
Right. So Raleigh, this is an interesting question. I'm going to put this down as a permanent question for the list. If you could barbecue with any historical figure, who would it be?
Wow. Historical figure.
And while you think about that, I'm going to do this. Meathead says you can't spontaneously combust 30 more people out of the 23 viewers. Meathead, I'm really good at math. I get what you're saying, but by the time this hits Friday or Saturday, there's probably going to be 100 people who've watched this. So that's how I will do the magical spontaneous combustion.
Historical.
You want me to keep talking so you can think some more? That's a hard question.
Well, I guess it depends. Are you talking cooks? Are you talking? If it was cooks wise, I would say probably Johnny Trigg. I would love to cook with that guy someday. I mean, there's a guy a little closer to the area, Big Mo Cason from Des Moines,
Right.
Ponderosa Barbecue. Actually, his first cousin and I went to high school together. We were classmates. And if I couldn't cook with Johnny Trigg, it'd probably be Big Mo as far as barbecue cooks go. You talk athletes, Mike, this one's for you. I'd probably have to cook with Brett Favre. So. Or Aaron Rodgers and Danica Patrick would be all right too.
All right. So the chat took flying off.
My wife, she's hilarious. Remember the movie Children of the Corn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a classmate and his older brother were actually in that movie. In one of the first diner scene where the old man gets his hand stuck in a meat grinder.
Right.
That was my buddy and his brother that put his hand in the meat grinder. So.
All right. So Quest Hunter wants to know, have you ever seen a real mountain?
Yep. Actually, and I'm sure my wife is going to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was 80. Oh, is it 86 or 87? Rocky Mountain High is a youth church camp that's in Estes Park, Colorado. I know everything's right. I think it was 87, but she'll tell me if I'm wrong.
I think Cooking Green Bastard Style spent a lot of time there once.
Yeah, that's the John Denver Rocky Mountain High. That's what's legal now. They really didn't let you do that in church camp.
All right, Texas Style Cuisine says he hit you with their 25th subscriber.
Thank you.
Almost caught up. CJ had to leave.
Ah, that sucks. I like that dude. He's funny.
Scott wants to know, what's a popular food near you?
Popular food here. Well, we're kind of a melting pot. There's everything around here. We can go steak, I guess. We're in the heart of the US, People around here love their steak. And barbecue. Sorry.
I'm trying to
My wife puts in pizza. Pizza Ranch is a Midwest pizza chain. Pizza, chicken, they do the buffet, the whole thing. And Made Right's very good, Dan. I forgot about that, buddy. Pizza Ranch is pretty top-notch pizza chain. They make some awesome chicken. Actually, my wife ordered it in for tonight. So, come on, knock it off with the corn comments, guys. Corn right. Barlow.
Booger wants to know if you ever had crawfish.
Oh yeah. There's not much seafood I don't like. We actually have crawdad boils up here. So cornflakes, really, guys? Come on now.
I don't know if you caught Tango Joe's comment, but he says your wife correcting you? Question mark.
I didn't see that one.
I had to scroll up. Sometimes it's hard to What was your first best barbecue you can remember? Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin. I think it was Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin.
Yes, Barlow, we play cornhole.
Who got... Damn it, green bastard. You always trick me. I start reading and I go, nope. All right, did you hear my question from Heavy Metal Barbecue? Or Mr.
No,
Mega Fred Zeppelin? It says, what was your first best barbecue that you can remember?
That I ate at or that I cooked?
Yeah, run them both.
I can remember growing up, City Park in Rock Valley, they used to do whole hog. There's a couple guys with a big old charcoal pit. And yeah, put some of that Kodiak in, buddy. And that was great. The best I cooked, I want to say the best I cooked was probably with my son-in-law. We did Farm Bureau of Iowa cook-off on the county level. And with some pork loin, we beat 2 prime ribs. We won top pork category and top overall meat, which got us to cook at the Iowa State Fair on Grand Avenue on Iowa Farm Bureau Day. And that's probably the best I've cooked, was that pork loin. I mean, you could cut it with a spoon if you wanted to.
All right, Fred has a follow-up question. Can Kent get tri-tip where he is?
You know, I first heard of tri-tip. Oh, crap. I was actually in Athens, Georgia for 2 weeks and heard about tri-tip. And about 12 miles down the road, we have this place called Remsen Processing. It's a little mom and pop butcher shop. And this guy's got, well, that's where I got the pork loin that I cooked for the Farm Bureau cook-off. He'll get me anything I want. I mean, Pete's great. I mean, so yeah. Yeah. I have yet to cook one, but I'd like to.
All right, Ray Mac's Kitchen and Grill just hit you with sub number 26 and just hopped on. What's up, Ray Mac?
Cool. Another.
I don't understand this question because I'm not from Iowa.
You asked to see him. Here's my barbecue buddy.
Awesome.
That's Jack. He's about, I don't know, 14 pounds of solid 8 inches tall.
All right, so Quest Hunter wants to know Hawkeye or Cyclones?
Hawkeye, baby. I root against the Cyclones in football 1 game a year, and that's when they play the Hawkeyes. There is a great in-state rivalry when it comes to wrestling between the two. They're always a perennial top 10 wrestling team, both of them. But yeah, Hawkeye all the way. Marion?
Yeah, I'm fucking laughing at Marion.
Dude, you're sick.
Scooter Too Cool just showed up. What's up, man?
I got a drink on that.
I think he did that last video too.
Jeez.
All right. I'm gonna hit you with 2 meathead questions. Then we're gonna finish this off with the Christie question, unless somebody puts something in the chat. Right.
Other than puppy dinner?
Yeah. Meathead wants to know what your signature dish is.
My signature dish, barbecuing wise, probably be my pork loin.
What about not barbecue wise?
Anything Mrs. Weird makes her roll-ups, her like taquito roll-ups. That's all on her. I couldn't make them that good if I made it 100 times. Is what she does.
Oh, this chat's getting out of hand.
Well, mine clicked off.
You're not missing anything, but your wife is handling it very well. I'm going to go sub her channel, even though I don't know that she's going to make any content. So this is what I find enjoyable from talking to you and her before the show and just seeing the chat, is she seems like the wife that is very easy to get along with and can take a joke and roll with the punches.
Well, yeah, you know, the thing about her family is, sorry, honey, I got to say this, you know I do, is when I grew up and stuff, you know, you see somebody get hurt, you ask if they're okay. You know, you're looking out for their well-being. Happened until we were married for a while, but in her I'm listening, be nice. In her family, somebody gets hurt, first they make sure there's no blood, and then the whole family laughs at them. My mother-in-law has a bad step in her house. Somebody comes falling down the steps and boom, right into the living room. It's like, you okay? And they're like, yeah. And then the whole family starts laughing at them. And I've caught onto that bug. And it's not nice, but it is damn funny.
All right. Robert Roy wants to know most exotic meat you've ever cooked.
Alligator.
Follow-up question for the chat. Robert, what's the most exotic meat you've ever cooked? All right. Meathead's other question that he always asks me is, what would be your God damn it, I forgot the question now. Your Mount Rushmore, if you could pick 4 people. Doesn't have to be political people.
Any 4, like, cooking wise, or just 4 individual people?
4 individual people.
Well, after Marion's comment, he's off the list. I'm going to go with one I mentioned earlier, Johnny Trigg. Love to meet that guy. Armadillo. Brett Favre. Dale Earnhardt, Sr. And
Joe the Tat, just do it.
Huh?
Joe the Tat, just do it. You got to talk while you do it so the camera flips.
I don't know if you can read it. It says underneath it, it says legends never die.
Swing it over to your right and talk.
Okay, there you go. So my buddy Mike Gangler did that. So the 4th one, it's kind of tough. It'd have to be my dad. So.
All right. All right, you guys got about a minute and a half, 2 minutes to type any last questions in. And we're going to finish this up with Christy's question, which you already know that she asked enough times that it made the list. What's the best and the worst thing you've ever cooked?
I'm kind of waiting for my wife to respond on this one. But best thing is got to be the pork loin that we cooked to win the county level. And we ended up actually 3rd in state with pork in the pork category with that. We got beat out by a couple guys cooking ribs that one had moved to Clinton, Iowa from Memphis 4 years ago. So I think they know a little something about ribs. And he was a cool guy. He was set up right next to us. So that was cool. The worst thing I probably ever cooked, my wife, no comment. Oh, there's a first.
Hey guys, we're gonna have the first divorce post show coming soon.
My worst thing I ever cooked barbecue wise was probably my first attempt at a brisket. I didn't cook it near long enough. So
All right, so Ray Mac wants to know what your wood of choice is.
for pork, apple and pecan. For beef, the lump charcoal I use is hickory lump, so I'll throw some pecan or mesquite with that. Chicken, I like cherry with maybe a little maple in it. So there you go.
All right, well, guys, damn, Bomb Grillins, I feel bad now. I'm about to end the show, and you're waving. He just showed up. After we get off here, go check it out. It was a pretty good show. I want to thank you guys for coming in, and I'm going to we're going to do two things here. One, I'm going to give you the last word, but number two, real quick, is before you get the last word, who would you like to see in the hot seat in the future?
Oh, that's tough. Anybody but my wife. She'll tell too many stories.
Kathy, call me.
Chris, knock it off. I'll lock my phone so she can't get your number. God, I don't know who's all been on already. There's. I would like to see. Have you had Russ from Smoky Ribs on?
No, I've not.
I think he would be a good one. I mean, I enjoy that guy's channel too. I mean, I have 100 and some channels I follow, and 90% of them are cooking or barbecue related. So,
well, all you got to do is send him a message. If you guys want to see Russ on, send him a message. Say, hey, get a hold of me. I would love to have the man on. I kind of reached out to him a little bit earlier, and is what it is.
I think Russ would be a real cool one on there. So.
All right, so I've got like 3 people saying Booger 500 US. All right, so finish up with anything you want to say, and once you get done talking and there's 5 seconds of silence, I'm going to hit the close button, and we're going to get this thing.
You know, I really enjoyed this tonight, other than the hater in the other room that's trolling me on this. But yeah, she's a great gal. I can't complain about that. I do want to make one little mention. This first one of these I saw, and I had a sign earlier. It said pee break, but this is for Chris. There's no pee break tonight. I was waiting for you to get up and walk out when you asked me the question, one big, one small, and one that should be bigger. But anyway, better than what I thought it was going to go, to be honest with you. I was a little nervous coming into this, so Scott told me to have a drink. So I had one in a 100-ounce mug before I started. So other than that, I appreciate the comments and the questions everybody had on the live feed. So hope I, as a guy with 9 subscribers coming in, hope I didn't bore you or disappoint you too bad. So.
Hey, you're at 26 last I looked.
Well, hey, we're getting up there. Oh, Raleigh, that's a really weird mug. I told you not to use that term weird, damn it.
Were the people able to see the unique gas station chain? Apparently they were, because Raleigh already labeled it out.
Did he? Oh, yeah. We had other names. God, Texas style. Is there corn liquor in there? No, it's rye liquor. It's whiskey. Come on. We're not making Everclear. So, Barlow, drink them if you got them. Attaboy, I like that one. I can't use yours because I don't smoke anymore. So,
Oh, Kathy, I love you. Already I can tell I would get along with you. She says there's a pump and pack also.
oh, they got so many names around here. There's Quick Stop, Quick Trip, Come and Go, Pump and Pack. Yeah. And if you let your mind wander, you can put about any, any version of that you can. Raleigh, I prefer Stop and Rub.
All right, so before this gets too out of hand and we exceed the PG/R rating,
We're getting there with Barlow.
Oh, Scott took it to the next level
pulling
too.
Out.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna sign this thing off before the FCC cuts me off. Love you guys. Tune in next week. I don't know who it's gonna be, but it'll probably be at 9 p.m. If not, I will put out a live chat saying, goddamn comments, saying what it is. Bye-bye.